Hi there, Dr. Andrea Shanowski from Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health in the Peoria Metro Center and our YouTube channel, Health and Horsepower. This week we are coming back again to talk a little bit more about headaches and more specifically on some of the sinus and allergy triggers and factors that can contribute to those. So when you are having headaches on a regular basis, especially if you're dealing with sinus issues like drainage problems, a lot of congestion or chronic sinus infections, or sometimes even a deviated septum, what can happen is we have sinus pressure build up, usually in kind of the frontal sinuses, either on the forehead or around our nose area. And as that pressure builds up and we get pressurization from the sinuses, it can press outward on the facial bones, and that can actually cause tension in the muscles over our face, the muscles of our jaw, and even the muscles in our upper neck and around our ear that can contribute to problems with drainage. So a lot of times what will happen is as that pressurization happens, we get pressure and inflammation that can actually set off a headache. If you are also dealing with allergies, very similar situation, that inflammation, that can happen systemically when you have allergies. So if you have seasonal allergies and you are outside and getting exposed to things that you are allergic to, your body's gonna have higher inflammation chemicals, which means things will react a lot faster and a lot stronger. And in some cases, seasonal allergies can also be worse if you also have food allergies that you're being exposed to on a regular basis. So typically when it comes down to sinus and allergy issues, one of the most important things is understanding and identifying where you're getting that inflammation from. So for example, if you have food allergies or food sensitivities, or potentially a delayed sensitivity reaction where after you've digested a food is when you typically start to have allergy symptoms, bloating, indigestion, or sometimes even issues with like diarrhea, constipation. Those are signals that your body may be struggling to deal with specific proteins. So identifying what those are and trying to cut them out or avoid them in your diet can make a big effort as to reducing that inflammation level so that your systemic inflammation level is lower. And then if you have seasonal allergies on top of it, those seasonal allergies also will have an immune response, but if we can limit the food allergy response, the seasonal allergy response will be much weaker and we won't see as many symptomatic problems. So another thing that also can be helpful, so obviously number one, making sure identifying some of those allergies and trying to minimize your exposure to those. So if you do tend to have a lot of seasonal allergies, making sure that you are keeping dust and dander under control in the house, making sure you're using an air purifier, making sure that you are cleaning out your nostrils and also your mouth as much as possible to reduce any inflammation or any of those allergen and dander inside of your body can also be helpful. I usually recommend like a saline spray in the nose or even just a warm saltwater gargle to kind of just regularly rinse out those mucous membranes. Another thing that can be really helpful is actually reducing your inflammation response. We carry a product here in our office called Allerall. This is actually it's a supplement that's a blend of different things. So it has quercetin, which helps to reduce your body's inflammation response. It has stinging nettle and bromelain in it to help break up mucus. So if you do tend to have issues with sinus and allergy congestion, it actually breaks up the mucus so you can get it out faster and clear out some of that pressure as well. But it also has some vitamin B's, C's, and some other things that help your body to deal with just immune function in general. So you want to make sure, like I said, you're identifying and reducing inflammation as much as possible. Using supplements can also be helpful, but another thing that I think a lot of people overlook is physically getting your body checked. If we have issues in the bones of the skull, in the jaw, in the facial bones, if we have issues in the neck or the upper back where we're not getting proper motion and mobility of, number one, all the sinus drainage, but also the muscles working properly, any of that tension, any of that inflammation can also cause inflammation factors and also cause issues where you have restriction that's not allowing things to drain properly, that's not allowing your body to heal properly as well. So it may be very important for you to actually get your spine checked by a chiropractor or another bodywork provider that is able to do that for you, potentially with like craniosacral therapy, to help open those up and get you some mobility back. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to comment below. You can also contact our office on our website, freedompeoria.org, or you can also call our office. All of our contact information is on our website. Have a great rest of your week, and we will be coming at you next week to talk a little bit more about headaches and hormones and how those can be connected.